welcome, Craig, to Poppy's TV. Couldn't have come at a more interesting time. A game at Kings Lynn, 1,200, 2,100 on Tuesday, 800 today, 3 wins and a draw. Man of the match at Kings Lynn. Couldn't better.
No, it's been good. It's been good. Obviously, when I heard about the interest, obviously I know Labs and Tom from previous played with Labs years ago. So obviously I know yeah. So I played with Labs quite a few years ago. Obviously Tom was at Barwell when I played at Barwell, and then obviously I went up north to play.
Fair way in Lancaster.
Yeah, it's a fair way. I lived up there years ago, and it was just an opportunity to be player coach, which obviously eventually, which I want to do. So it's a bit of a too good of opportunity to turn down. Things didn't materialise. The manager left. I was caretaker manager for 3
games, was it?
Yeah, 6 games. So that went well. Quite disappointed I didn't get the job, to be honest, but obviously it's worked out quite good. And then things was going well at Lancaster, and obviously I've heard of the interest here, and obviously
you moved back to the area?
Yeah, I'm moving back to the area. Originally from Bedworth, so I'll be moving somewhere in and around there in the next few years.
Already played there, so you missed that one.
But, so obviously my parents are there, so for the time being I'll stay there, and then obviously once we get all sorted, then I can obviously get sorted and then move to the area, because obviously it's a fair distance, but I can't obviously. Coming into a winning team, it's good, and playing with good
first
players.
Game against Kings Lynn, I mean, man of the match in that game. It was a tough game. We had a tough game.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I did okay. So, but it's just a matter of trying to win games, and hopefully we can keep clean sheets. Obviously disappointed with the way we conceded today, and obviously against Rushden, obviously stuff we can improve on.
I just like that game. I thought it's one of it's our big derby game, you know, and it was quite an atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Obviously played in front of big crowds before, but yeah, obviously in a tight little ground, big expectation. Obviously the performance. I think the longer the game went on, the better we were, and I think it showed in the last 20 minutes, half an hour. If we can play with that intensity, not many teams will be able to handle us, especially with our attacking players.
Today, a different kind of game. It was a more physical game from Tamworth. A couple of bookings are sending off. They were a little bit more sort of nudging around, weren't they? They were snapping at you. It was a different kind of performance.
I think, especially in the first half, we had enough chances to probably win the game by half time. Second half, we scored 2-0, and then we conceded a sloppy penalty that. Little things we could have done better with, and obviously that gives them a bit of pressure. And Tamworth have got some good players. You know, so probably in a false position maybe, but at the end of the day it's 3 points, and we want to play well, but I think at this time of the season you just got to win games, and that's what we're doing at the minute.
Well, we matched Stourbridge. They won 3-0 away from home, so we're still in second place with 3 games in hand. It has gone our way again, but we hit the post twice. We had 2 cleared up a line. We had a couple of one-on-ones. One was a sending off to Jemson, which could have settled things. It was a tough old game, tough old surface out there. It must be a difficult surface for you.
Yeah, it's just I ain't the youngest now, do you know what I mean? But obviously I enjoy playing back there. I've only been playing there for a couple of years, so obviously played in midfield for the majority of my career, so I just went back there. Hopefully I can get a few more years by playing back there, and the main thing is obviously trying to be successful, and that's the reason why I come. Could have easily just stayed at Lancaster and just played and just maybe gone through the motions, but I wanted to try and finish my career however long I've got left, to try and finish on a high, and that's the aim what I'm trying to do here.
Certainly slotted in well with Declan Towers at the back there. It is encouraging. You seem quite steady out there.
Yeah.
Knowledge of the game obviously rubs off on the others.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I try and read the game quite well. Obviously playing in midfield, sort of try and read where the ball's going to be by obviously looking at the player's body shape and where it's going to go. So that's I'm not the fastest, but I think I can read the game quite well. And playing with Dec's a very good player, I think.
Great game today,
I think another good game. So we're playing well at the minute. We've got experience from playing at Barwell, but at Barwell sometimes he was a bit of a hothead. He got sent off a few times and he had a few injuries, so we didn't probably play as regular at Barwell as we should have, or maybe we could have. But then he was playing in midfield as well. So, but I think Dec's a quality player.
Were you at Barwell then when Liam McDonald was there? And
no, just I was only there for like about 18 months. It was right. So, and then. But I think Dec can play higher. I think if he gets his mind on the job and plays well, he's showing now he needed to come to a team that are going to do things properly, and then he's showing his performances now that for me he can play. He can play.
He's got a goal for us as well, which is it's been useful.
He's good
to Alger.
He's good at attacking. He's good on set plays, and he's good to play with, because sometimes if I'm not in the greatest of positions, he can help me out, and vice versa. You know, so we have a good relationship. We speak off the pitch as well. not all the time, but we speak and obviously see how each other is, and we just play, and it's quite easy to play with. He knows how I play and I know how he plays, and that's as simple as it is. And when you come into a new team, it's always tough because I don't know the players. I obviously know the players like Aaron O'Connor, Dan Ullman, playing against them and stuff like that. But obviously today,
how have you found it then, sort of coming into the team? I mean, you say it's new for you, you've got
it's
new players around.
Football,
how they accepted you?
I think all right. You'll have to ask them that question. Do you know what I mean? They might like me, they might not. For me, I've come here to play football to win games, and that's what I've tried to do all my career. Really, is try and be as successful as I can. I've done okay, and obviously just coming in, knowing players helps, and football's quite a simple game, really, But yeah, you do have to learn people's strengths, where they like the ball, where they don't like the ball, etc., etc. But it comes quite quickly, So I think I've learned where I need to pass the ball and what I need to do, and the main thing is that we win games, and that's what's happening at the minute.
Okay, Craig, thank you very much. Thank you for your frankness there on that. Let's hope this winning streak continues. Let's hope that you continue playing the way you are. You've certainly been a revelation since you've been here. Thanks for coming over. Go back and have a nice shower. We'll see you a bit later on. Big up, Tom. And James in here. Well, let's hear it from a managerial point of view then. It was a tough 2-1 win coming on the back of that fantastic result on Tuesday night. We're all animated in that game. Not so animated today, but a great result when things could have gone probably the wrong way for us.
It was a good result, and I think it was important that we had to back that result up from New Year's Day with a win. Anything less we would have been hugely disappointed, considering how well we did New Year's Day against Rushden. So look, we knew that it was going to be a challenge, and Marcus mentioned before the game that look, we've got to back these big wins up, beating the teams in and around us, followed up with a sort of a cracking result really against an okay-ish Tamworth side.
Very physical, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, but I thought we coped with it really well, and we took our goals well today.
Yeah, you look at chances as well. We've had 2 come off the post. Rico's had 1 tipped over the bar.
Great save, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was a great shot from him. We know he's got that in the locker. So on chances really.
Had 2 off the line as well.
I think it's sort of panic stations, wasn't it? Really, give a penalty away. I think it was Gaz. He's not really going anywhere. It's a bit cheap that. Whitey saved the penalty. We don't follow it in and concede.
Frustrating for Whitey because it's a great save.
Yeah, he's dug us out there, and you've got to back him up with that. He's made a cracking save, and we expect people to follow him in there. But and then all of a sudden we're not clearing our lines. We're not doing what the good things that we did for the first half and the first probably 15 minutes of the second half. We stopped turning them. We stopped getting in behind them. But that happens. Then it will settle down, and we
almost
seen it out towards the end.
1-1, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's brought down by.
Like I say, we've had good chances. 2 off the post as well. Can we follow them in and get closer to them? I don't know. It's probably a bit difficult, but could have been a couple more really on another day.
As you say, it was good to follow that up with a win against Rushden when we played Stourbridge. Our form dropped a bit, didn't it? Do you think complacency stepped in there a little bit? That we've done everything?
Possibly. I don't think things weren't quite going our way as well. We've made a couple of changes, bringing lads in. Sometimes that takes a few games to
that Craig in, and he's gelled in really well, hasn't he?
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes people do just slot in, but brought Adam in. Obviously, Dan Holman would come in on the back of that as well. So sometimes it takes a couple of games to get it working. We've tried a few different shapes or what have you, and now it's kicking on and coming back together again. So
teams are always going to have a spell as well. So it's important that we kind of absorb that, and it was important that we kind of dealt with their pressure today, because they're always going to have a sort of 10-15 minute spell, like all teams will when they play against us. But I thought we were quite resolute, defended quite well. We could have cleared our lines a little bit better, but when we did, we always knew that we had sort of Reece up top to kind of play on shoulders and cause them problems, and he did today again. So
different team selection. We had the original team that Aaron was in the side, then we got the news that he's ill and was on the bench, and then obviously Rico is going to be missing now for 3 games with suspension. And maybe Roe Turner might be coming back into the side at some point, so there's going to be a rejig around a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron pulled up in the warm-up today. He's been struggling with a bit of a sort of chesty cough, so he was honest. He said, "Look, you're probably not going to get the best from me today." And I think obviously we've got a ready-made replacement in Cunners who came on. And I thought he did really well today, actually.
He battles well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
People don't appreciate probably how much he gets buffeted off the ball and the pressure takes off the other forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem you've got when you get a big man, it's everyone else, it's easy for us to play that ball into him, but I thought today, the percentages, he was winning more than he was losing. He was holding it up, he's rolled a few and played little ones around the corners. That's what he can give us, That's why we've bought him here, to have that presence up front. But you mentioned people like Rico's going to miss 3. As is struggling. I don't think that will take him much to recover from that. He'll probably be okay for next week. But it gives other people opportunities. People, rightly so, not happy being out of the team, but the gaffer picks players for a reason, and it's going well at the moment. So, but other people that can come in, they've got an opportunity. They either take it or they don't, and that's
Tuesday
the way it goes.
night we have Stratford in the Cup game. That will give a chance to
exactly.
a few more.
That's a perfect game for people to get minutes in, show the gaffer why they think they should be in the team, and give him a headache if anything. Give him things to think about, and like I say, Stratford's a perfect opportunity for that.
And we're back in your neck of the woods of Colville. We've got Colville twice, Biggleswade, Royston, and the big one against Stanbury. Difficult month for the Poppies, really.
Colville, I know quite a bit about them. I've watched them 3 times this year. A few of their players, I had Cole Pony, there were 3-0 up last night. I've not had a chance to check. They were 3-0 up at Hales Owen, so that's a good result for them. But like I say, we know about them. We'll have a plan to go and combat that, and ultimately it's delivering that plan at the end of the day. Can we do what we set out to do? If we do that, we'll be okay.
Okay, well that's good to hear, and a good win this afternoon. I'm sure you're delighted like we are. Coming also after that game on Tuesday. It's been a bit animated on the night, if I remember correctly. We won't rub it in too much. Did we win that game 2-1? I think we did.
You take the good times while they're there. That's what football's all about.
It is, isn't it? And,
it's about the rubbing in. They'd be doing the same.
I'm sure they would when they score a goal in the 93rd, 94th minute. But great to have you here.
Yeah,
great to have you back, and great to meet you, Tom. Once again, we will see you. That is our managerial report on today's game against Tamworth.